Hi Kay, hi Dan. My name is Abby,
And my name's Taylor.
and we're student nurses at MSU, and we're just going to ask you a few questions about your family and your family health patterns today. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so we just want to make you aware that we're recording this interview for educational purposes and that it will be heard by other nursing students in our class. Is this okay?
Yes.
And also, if there are any questions that you're not comfortable answering, don't feel obligated to answer them.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so to start out with, we're going to talk about your family composition. So tell us who is in your family.
Immediate family?
Yeah, we'll start with immediate.
Okay, so it's just Dan and myself here at the house. We don't have any children. And then we have extended family that are in Pipestone, Minnesota on Dan's side and around the Minnesota area. And then the rest of my family is all in Nebraska. So my parents are still alive, and I have two older brothers. And
I have both of my
I was going to
parents.
say nieces and nephews in there too.
Both my parents are alive, and a brother and two sisters.
Awesome. Okay, so then how old are both of you guys?
I am 46.
And I'm 53.
Okay, so does anyone else live with you guys?
No.
And then is there anyone else that you guys would consider family that doesn't live with you? Maybe some of your extended family, or maybe not.
No, probably not. I mean,
We're close to.
we're close to all of our family, and especially our nieces and nephews.
Yeah, brothers.
But they're all related to us.
Sure. So then do you guys have any pets that live with you that you consider family?
Yes, we have Lacey.
Yep. Have a little dog I've had for 13 years.
Aww. So now we're going to move on and talk just a little bit about gender. So tell us the different roles that you each hold in your family.
The different roles that we hold. I do all of the cooking. Dan just has never really gotten into that, although I cook, he cleans, so it's kind of nice. We both share in the household chores. The things I can't do, he does, and vice versa. We both work outside the home, so it's kind of a joint thing for us. We don't have one specific thing that either of us does, other than I generally do all of the cooking.
Sure. So what did you learn as kids about gender roles, like when you were growing up, and then how has this influenced your life today, or what you think of gender roles today?
So I was raised, I had two older brothers, so fairly girly. Dolls and cheerleading and dance class and etc.
Sure.
But I also had a really neat influence from my dad. If I would need help with something, or if he would need help with something, he'd teach me how to take it apart, put it back together again. I've laid linoleum, I paint, I help him with things, so a little bit of crossover there, I would say.
So you had some nice blended ideas of roles.
Exactly. Yeah. I was not very athletic, where I probably would have done sports more, but I am not coordinated whatsoever. So it wasn't due to anyone telling me that girls shouldn't do that. It's just I probably would have hurt myself.
Just the way it was.
It's just the way it was.
Grew up in western Minnesota. My dad was in the ag industry like I am today. So as kids, we worked real hard on the farm and just watched my dad really work hard, and so that's what we always thought of had to do, no matter what time of day or night or weekends. If you had time off, you worked. So watched him in that role, and Mom kept the house up, didn't work outside of the house, and that's how we grew up.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to talk about the rank order in your family, so we'll start with Kay.
Okay.
You kind of touched on it for how many children were in your family, but can you give them to us,
Right.
oldest to youngest, and give
Okay.
us their ages?
So Kent is my oldest brother. He is Dan's age, 53. Thank you. And then Rex is my next in-line brother, and he would be 51. They're about 22 months apart. And then I'm the only girl and the youngest, and I'm 46. And no kids below me.
Okay, how about you, Dan?
I've got an older sister that's 56. Got a brother that's a year and 2 days older than me, so he's 54. I'm 53. And then I have a younger sister that's exactly 10 years younger than me. So, not sure if that was a plan, but there was 10-year spread exactly between us.
So now that we know who's the oldest and who's the youngest, were there any role differences, do you think, between like what the older children were expected to do and what the younger children were expected to do?
If you ask my brothers, I'm spoiled rotten and didn't have to do anything. But I think being the only girl, I had a lot of chores around the house. or my brothers mowed the lawn. You know, they did this
Sure.
snow scooping and shoveling and that kind of thing. I was the one who helped unload the dishwasher and get supper ready and helped with laundry and that kind of thing. Other than that, not really. I didn't see a big difference between how any of the three of us were treated. We all have very different personalities, though. So,
Interesting how that works.
yeah, so oldest versus youngest and the middle child, we have a lot of differences between the three of us, but I don't think anything was a very specific role or
Mhm.
neither of my brothers really acted as like a parental figure for me whatsoever. Not sure why, they just really didn't. So, I mean, they were never asked to really take care of me or, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, how about you, Dan?
Of course, the three siblings that I have that are all about my age we're 4 years apart, so we all had the same duties around the house. Especially my brother was a year older than me, was my best friend, still is. We hung out together in high school and still do. We've been actually in the same industry, at the same company for 30 years.
Wow.
So we talk a lot, you know. My older sister, you know, she had her roles in high school, but then the one that came last, you know, we were, you know, almost out of high school when she was getting into grade school, you know, so we're 10 years apart.
Right.
And so then after we left home, you know, then we come back and watched how things we thought was a lot easier for her because, you know, she got the car and she got the college education and which is fine, you know. When the folks had 3 kids, bang, 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 you know, it's probably a little tough. And 10 years later, they had a little more financial means and easier to support.
Right. Okay, so we're going to go on to, well, first of all, were there any miscarriages or abortions in either of your families?
Not that I'm aware of in mine.
No abortions for sure. Well, of course, that I know of. Miscarriages, I think I had some nieces, Kelly and stuff, you know.
Yeah, but not by your mom.
Oh, no. Are you talking about our immediate parents?
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. No, I guess I've never asked, but I've never heard of one.
Okay.
With my mom, anyways.
Okay. So we're going to talk about subsystems in your family. This might be a little bit different for you guys to answer
Okay.
since you don't have kids. You can apply it to your families with your siblings if you want to.
Okay.
But do you think any different subgroups exist in your families? Or almost if you were going to like divide your family into 2 teams, who would be on each team and why would they be there?
My family's obviously smaller than Dan's, and I would say it's probably more predominant in Dan's family. We kind of have the group that we hang out with, and then, you know, the others that we really don't. Mine's a little bit smaller. I would say my oldest brother Kent and myself are very, very close, and always have been. He kind of relies on me for a lot of things and advice and everything else. Rex, the middle child, is a little bit more distant. Still get along, but, you know, when he calls, I know he wants something. When Kent calls, it's just to say hi, and he'll call once a week.
Sure. So a
Rex
little
I hear
bit of a
from
different
every 3
relationship.
months. You know, I mean, literally, and it's usually he has a legal question and he wants me to answer it or something.
Okay.
So just different there. So I would say it's Kent and the oldest and the youngest for me, and then, like I said, Rex we get along with, but he's just we're not as close with him.
Do you think that having that kind of different relationship with each of your brothers, does that create any family stress, or is that just kind of the way things are?
I don't think it really did because I kind of act as the peacemaker. So even though I'm closer with Kent, you know, Rex will call me and say want to know what's going on with the family, or if there's a family crisis, like my mom had some health problems. Rex and I got very close during that time because he really stepped up into that
Sure.
role. So no, I don't think that causes a rift. I would say it's more of like my older brother has a better relationship with my parents. That
Oh,
probably
okay, so
caused
that's
more of
different.
a rift between my 2 brothers than my relationship with them does.
Okay. Dan, how about subgroups in your bigger family?
Oh, you know, when I got out of high school at 18 and I, you know, left basically that next Monday morning and haven't been back to the hometown since, where my sister, the oldest sister's really never left. So she's
Okay.
been around my parents all these years and, you know, looking at that, you know, that's good and bad, you know, it's a small town and so everybody chats and talks and everybody wants to know everything, where my brother and I and my youngest sister have been gone since high school and never been back. So when we go home, you know, we see different things, you know. I don't chat with my older sister a lot, you know, great relationship, but just don't pick up the phone a lot, more texts and hi, how you doing type of deal. Older brother, of course, we're on a day-to-day communication, you know, because we're in the same business, same industry, and he's in the western part of the state. and
Well, and you're really best friends, so I
good
mean, that's
friends.
a,
We go motorcycle riding together and stuff. But I think that's good because I got a younger sister and older sister, and they see the two brothers get along great. Which in some families, like her two brothers, they don't do anything together. They might go. They live almost in the same town. Might go months without talking or seeing each other. I would
yeah,
assume.
and it's not that they dislike each other, they
They
just don't have anything
No,
in common.
nothing in common.
Just the way
Yeah,
the different
and-
relationships are.
Yeah,
And brother and I go on, a few-day motorcycle trip every year, and
Oh, fun.
so we, hang out together quite a bit. Youngest sister, like I said, 10 years younger, lives in Kansas City, has her family down there. Joke, Texas, and sports. Laughing at their sports teams when they don't win, and Visa, they do the same to us. So, but I just notice anymore being with these phones and emails and texts, a lot of it, instead of picking up the phone, it's just a quick text anymore. And I see, of course, grew up in high school and just quite a ways into my life without any phones, or cell phones and stuff. Like you guys all grew up with them,
Right.
and I see that a lot where it's not every Sunday night pick up the phone at 8 o'clock and used to be calling your parents, and now it's just quick texts during the week. It's changed quite a bit. I see that.
So you think that has kind of had an effect on your relationships, just like the change in technology at all?
Yeah, I do. I mean, like I said, I remember when I was, first moved away from home. It was almost, back when you had landlines. At Sunday night after 8 o'clock was the cheapest time to call,
okay.
long distance. So you always wait until 8 o'clock, then you call your mom or your brother or something like that, and then you always were timed because it was long distance. So you chatted for a short distance of time and you hung up and talked to you next week type of deal.
Right.
Something you guys weren't used to. But,
Yeah.
But now it's, you can pick up the phone anytime you want to, but now with texts and emails and, a lot of
Facebook
communication
and,
now is forwarding a joke or, what's the weather like? So
Yeah.
you don't really have that one-on-one communication.
Right. Okay, so we're going to talk just a little bit about boundaries in your family. Would you say that the boundaries in your family are clear, rigid, or diffuse?
our boundaries,
Why
yes.
not?
Yeah.
very clear.
I'd say very clear.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been together for, married 20.
Since 1988.
Yeah, but married
We've been
21
together.
years, but known each other 27, something like that. Anyways, never really argue.
That's great.
Yeah.
What she likes doing, I like doing, and if we don't, then she can do what she wants on her own, and I can do what I want.
But it's always
Right.
a conversation.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to do, or here's what I like, or etc. And then we have a lot of things in common. So
So good communication too. Then it
yeah,
sounds like.
I think so.
So if one of you was really happy about something else, would you right away go and tell the other one, or would you go and maybe tell extended family? Or like, if you were really happy, who would you go to first?
Oh no,
All each
Dan
other.
first.
I would say text each other, this happened, or yeah. Oh yeah, I would say first call would be to her.
Same if it was something like a sad situation or
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
great.
Absolutely. I always say he's my family. The rest are extended family, obviously, but he's my family.
Awesome. So what did your family of origin teach you about sexual orientation, bisexuality, or same-sex relationships growing up?
I don't remember talking about it a lot, other than
Yeah, and maybe it wasn't real. I guess
Yeah,
it probably
so I
wasn't
mean-
as like in the news as it
No,
is today.
because
so
it wasn't
maybe,
in the news. My family, my grandmother, she died at 98, so she would have been
Wow.
like 103 by now, probably. When I was growing up, I was very, very close to her. And she had 5 siblings, and they all had lots of kids too. And one of them, we believe, was homosexual. And, it was interesting to talk to her about it because she kind of knew, and she really accepted it. But he never came out of the closet. And everyone kind of talked about it behind him,
okay.
So I don't know that I ever knew anything about it or really had any specific talk of this is really good, really bad, this is against the Bible, this is whatever, growing up, just because it really
Sure.
wasn't an issue. Probably not until I got to college and then saw and was exposed to it more.
Right.
So I don't remember ever even talking about it.
Okay. How
No,
about
I
you,
mean,
Dan?
I graduated in 1980, so that's a long time ago, and small town of 5,000 people, and looking back, you always seen some different kids, but of course they weren't fully out of the closet at that age, but now I guess I've heard over the years that, this person, was gay and became gay, never got married, and now is, which you look back, 30 years ago at least, when high school was around, it's like, you put two together, but they never talked about it, I
No,
guess.
we just never
it
talked
Right.
wasn't-
about it. Race and religion were probably more talked about than sexual orientation. Or-
That's interesting to hear
Yeah.
you guys say that because, like, for our day and age, it's so prevalent.
Yeah.
That it's
Nobody's-
not really a thing to not hear about it at home.
Yeah.
Right,
So
and
that's
we
really
just, like you
interesting
said,
to
we
hear you
just
guys say
didn't-
Back
that.
then, you might have called somebody names or heard somebody being called names because the guy was a little feminine or something. You didn't think nothing of it because you knew probably he wasn't going to act on it with somebody in the little small town of Pipestone with
Sure.
50 people in the class because I'm sure that wouldn't go over good. So yeah,
just really what is kind of a non-issue, I guess.
Yeah.
We just
yeah.
never
That's
When we
very
grew up,
interesting.
anyways, now like I said, you see it all the time on
It's
TV
in the
and
news and in TV
Everywhere,
shows and
yeah.
everywhere. So yeah,
I guess the things that look different for me is when you see it on TV now. I mean, casted on TV on Friends or a TV show. It's for me, it's a little hard to, you look at that. They're not, but they're playing the character
their
of being
actors are
gay.
yeah.
And sometimes I wonder, well, is that, what does that tell our kids that are watching it?
Yeah.
I mean, if they didn't know about it right now, they're like, well, it must be fine. It's on, 8 o'clock at night on channel TV or channel news. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's just a lot more in the news
Yeah.
Yeah.
before us. So yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so you guys have done a good job already talking about your extended family, but I think there's just a couple details that we've missed. So tell us about your grandparents.
So my grandparents were both, obviously, my parents are still married today. Their parents were married all the way through 50, 60 some years of marriage. My grandpa Bill died when I was 3 of cancer. I have like one memory of him that I can remember. And my grandma Greta died when I was 7 or 8, I don't remember which.
Okay.
And she had a stroke, and so my memories of her are pretty limited. She was very, couldn't speak very well, was in a nursing home most of the time. My grandpa George, on my dad's side, my grandpa George passed away, again, I think I was like 9. So I mean,
Okay.
literally pretty young.
Right.
And then Grandma Ruth lived to be 98, so literally she was at her wedding. She
Wow.
just passed away after I moved up here even, and she and I were incredibly close.
Oh,
She was kind of like a second mom to me. I mean, just we were very, very,
wow.
very close.
That's great.
A lot of the dishes up there are hers. A lot of the the cross I normally wear, but my chain has an issue, a thingy in it,
Oh,
was
no.
hers. The furniture in there is hers. I mean, literally, she and I were very, very close. So.
Wow, that's awesome. Did she just pass away because of old age, or did she have health problems?
No, literally 98. Just yeah, she had open heart surgery at like 87.
Wow.
They did open heart surgery because she was so healthy.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, she was, and she started to have some dementia. I don't know that they actually called it Alzheimer's, but at 98,
That's pretty
she was
common,
great in the
yeah.
mornings, but by the afternoon she would start to get a little confused about things, and then finally her body just kind of shut down. So
Oh,
it was
what a
pretty
neat
quick
relationship,
too.
though.
I think it was about a week or so between the kind of some medical stuff, and she was gone
Right.
shortly after that. So, but no, she was. I rank her right up there with.
She sounds like an incredible woman.
Yeah, she was fantastic. So
How about
fun
you, Dan?
stories.
All my grandparents, we all grew up, and all my extended families over in the eastern part of the state. And when I was about first grade, after kindergarten, first grade, we moved all the way to the western part of the state. My parents did, and that was didn't have any extended family over there. So when I left, we were young, didn't get to really know my grandparents that well.
Okay.
They all lived to be, probably died in 1970, so I was in 8th grade to maybe a senior in high school. And the only time I really got to see them because of the distance was, weddings, maybe a couple
Other
family
funerals.
reunions, other funerals. So, I remember slightly about them, but like I said, when you left, when you were 6, 7 years
Right.
old, your memory of them was pretty small. And then, like I said, then just a couple times a year you got to see them, and they didn't do a lot of traveling way out to the South Dakota border.
Mm-hmm.
So, just yeah, I mean, I kind of remember them. They were hardworking egg farmers, you know, and that's
Mhm.
yeah, not the relationship that I saw my wife have with her one grandma, especially.
Yeah, she was in my hometown. She watched me 2 or 3 times a week. I'd go over there after school on
Oh.
Wednesdays. I mean, literally, I saw her 2 or 3 times a week. So
Wow,
yeah, all growing up.
that's very cool.
But they all lived to be, you know, older in age, you know, 70s, 80s, and I think a few 90s.
Hazel was.
Hazel, I think.
Yeah.
So
Do
my
you know,
dad's-
did any of them have any significant health problems?
my dad's dad, so my grandpa on my dad's side, he had quite a few heart issues, and you know, but still lived through them, I guess. But maybe he passed away from a heart attack. I guess he was in the hospital. Other than that, like I said, I think my other three grandparents, they were well in their 80s when they passed away.
All right, so tell us now more about your parents.
My mom and dad are the same age. They were high school sweethearts. They
Aw.
started dating when they were juniors in high school.
Wow.
And have been together ever since. They got married, graduated high school in 57, got married in 59. My mom went to school to be a beautician, flunked out. Someone came in with lice in their hair and it freaked her out, so she never
Oh,
went back
no.
again. My dad went to school to be a TV repairman and automotive, welding, that kind of thing. It was very mechanical, and he had his own business growing up, and mom worked for him. And then when they were in high school, dad retired or switched careers, and mom worked outside of the home after that at a physical therapist. Mom owns a farm, and so a lot of their income comes from that. They've
Okay.
never actually farmed, but they cash rent
Sure.
out the farm.
Would you say that
Both
you're
still
pretty
together.
close to your parents?
I'm extremely close with my dad. Very, very, very close with my dad. My mom and I clash. We butt heads.
Okay.
We're close, you know, and I mean we have a good relationship, I think, but
Mhm.
just not like.
Not like you and
Yeah.
your dad.
I've jokingly said if mom passes away, dad could come live here and it wouldn't be a problem.
Oh, wow.
Mom, I would purchase a home for her quite a while ways away.
So how do you communicate best with your parents? Is it by phone or?
Dad and I FaceTime a lot.
Okay.
Every once in a while, my phone will just ring and it's Dad FaceTiming. He just wants to see me. My mom jokes and says that he's going through K withdrawals. He's got a CK.
Oh, funny.
And he would prefer to do that than talk on the phone. I think he wants to see me and talk to me. My mom will just pick up the phone out of the blue and call for weird things, and it's very short conversations. More kind of, you know, she has something to tell me and she wants to tell me, and you know, there's a lot of times I get off the phone and I don't even think she says, "How was your day?" or "What, you know, how are you doing?" It's more of the
Not for
download.
purpose.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a purposeful phone call, and Dad will just call and, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Okay.
So.
Dan, how about your parents?
My parents, my dad's 80, my mom's 78. They've been married for quite a few years, I guess.
They got married in 1957.
Yeah.
Whatever that math is.
My dad never made it out of 8th grade. You know, as far as his parents, his dad had a heart attack, and they were all farmers, and so the boys had to help out around the farm back then, and so they never went back to school. Went to the military for a couple of years and got out and started working in the agricultural industry, and turned out to be very, very, very successful at it. So, you know, not saying that kids should drop out of school or kids shouldn't go to college, but he was a very, very sharp business guy.
Good for him.
He actually worked in the industry for exactly 50 years. So he started when he was
Wow.
20 out of the service, and he quit the day he was 70. And then a few weeks after that, he got diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
Oh.
So he's been fighting that for the last 10 years.
But a good fight. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of.
He doesn't have a lot of the symptoms, but mentally, you know, it started to really overcome him a little
Slow him
bit, and
down.
stiffness, and doesn't get out. Mom and dad are very, very close couple, extremely close. Mom's like a nurse to him, just follows him around, and you know, they
Oh,
don't
that's
do
sweet.
anything without each other. I mean, she won't do anything without him, and vice versa. Been that way ever since I've known him. As far as communication with them, guys are guys, but probably like your brothers, maybe not calling your mom when they start getting older.
Oh, so true.
You know, thank God for text. I'm being in the industry of sales. I hate talking on the phone after you get home at night and stuff, and hey, how's it going? What's up? You know. And lately, it's pretty well the conversations, especially with my dad, about what's the price of gas? What's a gallon of milk cost over there? How much rain did you get? Here's your mom.
That's pretty
And
much
which is fun.
Okay.
That's his little world.
Mm-hmm.
And mom will chat about people that I don't know about over in Pipestone. You remember them? Like, no, I've been gone for 35 years. I don't, but you humor her, and then she's got pretty good on the computer here in the last 10 years, and so that's a good way for her to communicate with her kids and
Yeah.
grandkids and
Yeah, she's
stuff,
really
and
jumped
her
on board with that.
family.
That's
So
great.
that's really been good.
Would you say that you're closer with your mom or your dad, or equally close?
I would say pretty equal.
Okay.
My mom's little, a weekend of her is long enough. And, my dad, he's real low key, and we can chat about agriculture and stuff like that. But, of course, in high school you had your hiccups with everybody, and, we thought we were smarter than we really were in high school, and now found out the parents ain't as dumb as we thought. But, we don't hang around a lot. It's just pretty well Christmases and Easters and,
Mm-hmm.
a few special birthdays and stuff anymore.
Okay. Besides the Parkinson's, are there any other significant health issues with any of your parents?
My mom had open heart surgery in June. My dad
Well, he's been healthy as a horse.
is literally healthy as a horse. He has varicose vein issues in his legs. He's had his veins stripped.
Oh, okay.
But that was when I was in college.
First met.
Yeah, right after we
while
first met. So a long time. My dad's very active. He's has 1,000 hobbies. He gets up. He golfed one time 27 holes in a day.
Wow.
Just for fun.
What a man.
Yeah, so I mean, he's on his feet all day long and loves it. He's putzing around. I always say I kind of married my husband, but Dan's much faster than my dad is. But he can fix anything, do anything. Lots of hobbies. Very active, very technology. He likes to play with stuff. He was a TV repairman, so I mean, he's got some of that.
Sure.
My mom is pretty sedentary, so like I said, heart issues, fibromyalgia. Irritable bowel syndrome. Her feet have issues. She's got arthritis. You name it, she kind of has it.
A lot of it because of being sedentary.
Yeah, sedentary. She just
Okay.
doesn't. She doesn't move. She doesn't walk. Her hobby is watching movies and TV.
Okay.
She just doesn't.
All day,
do much.
all night.
Would you say that her health problems have had any, either positive or negative impacts on her family or you guys as a family?
I would say negative.
Well,
Probably not on
Positive
us.
because we watch what she does, and so of course her and I are very, very
Okay.
active. I don't want to become that way. That's
Yeah,
not my
but I
ideal
think we would.
retirement.
I think we would have been that way anyway.
Yeah, but it's,
But the negative part of it is, my brother. Neither of us really like to call and talk to her very often because we know it's all going to be this hurts and that
Mhm.
hurts and
6 doctors and medical
Yeah,
this.
everything. Every time I talk to her, it's about something medical.
Okay.
Went to the doctor this week. Here's what they. It's. We aren't very active when we go back then for Thanksgivings or Easters or Christmas at my folks' house because my mom anymore she doesn't even do the cooking for the holidays. I do when I go back because she just kind of sits.
Okay.
So I would say negative as far as that goes. I go back and we just went back here. I don't remember when to watch a football game in October or September to watch my nephew play football. And my dad's like, "Throw your clubs in. We're going golfing. And my mom just kind of sits. So I would say negative on my family because everyone kind of tiptoes around it. And,
Sure.
And like I said, some of it's medical that she has, but I think she could do more, and it's sad to see Steve, her dad, being so active and her mom being nothing. Doesn't
They're
move.
just kind of polar
I
opposites.
mean, they just,
Right.
they just come in and not
Yeah.
very close as far as like I see my parents who are fairly active yet.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Your mom has fibromyalgia.
but she's 100 mile an hour with
yeah.
heroin fire.
Yeah, absolutely. She counteracts it by movement. My mom
Mhm.
counteracts it by medicine. So, your dad has Parkinson's. He had prostate cancer.
That's
Um,
gastric move.
That was been probably 6 years ago, ish.
And lots of back surgeries from physical work. So
Um,
he's physically not any difference between it is like my parents. My mom and dad hide a lot of their medical issues and don't want to bring it up to kids, you know,
Mhm.
as far as head to hospital or checkups and, you
More
know.
of close communication than that
Yeah,
kind
you know,
of
they're
stuff.
just like, you know, why, and I kind of do that too, is why my mom's a worry wart, so why tell her that I've got this or that, you know, hey, you can't do anything about it, so why tell? Is my philosophy on, you know, if I have anything, which I thank God haven't.
Yeah.
But, versus I see her mom, like I said, it's all talk about
Every phone call.
medical, and my mom, I know, has fibromyalgia like your mom, and has some aches and hip problems, and gets shots in her elbows and stuff, and, you know, she doesn't ever say it unless you hear it from another sibling of mine.
Mhm. So, do any of you guys' siblings have any significant health problems, or are they all fairly healthy?
My oldest brother has had chronic migraines since he was 4.
Oh wow.
So I kind of grew up seeing him have migraines. My brother Rex has some high blood pressure issues, but it's lifestyle related, I think, more than anything.
Okay.
Other than that, not really. I mean, they haven't really had surgeries. They haven't had. My siblings really haven't had big health issues.
That's great.
No, mine, same thing, very active, very sports family, still, you know, sisters always either coaching or coaching volleyball, and my youngest sister's, you know, chasing her 2 twin girls around, and they're all heavy in sports in Kansas City, so very, very active. No overweight issues. You know, I think they're all very, very conscious of what they eat. I've noticed that quite a bit. You know, as far as
Better now than
better,
they used to be.
yeah. You know, as you get older, it's,
Yeah, better
so-
now than they used to be. Yeah.
And yeah, no blood pressure issues, nothing major yet.
That's great. Yeah, very good. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about ethnicity. So, what would you consider you guys' family ethnicity to be like?
I'll let you go with that one.
Go ahead.
I'm adopted.
Okay.
So, honestly, I have paperwork that says like English and something that I don't remember even what it is now. My adoptive family on my mom's side was German,
Okay.
Einholz. On my other side, they came over from England, grandmother's side.
Okay. How
So,
about
but
you?
like I
Dan?
said, personally,
So you just want to
I'm a
know
little
what our
limited.
family background is?
Yeah, sure. Just give us a little bit on that.
Most of my grandparents' parents all came from Germany. Came over here for being in agriculture, you know, as far as that goes. So yeah, we basically all German
On both
background
sides.
on both sides.
Okay.
As far as we know.
What does the word health mean to you guys?
Health?
Yeah, health.
Important. That's my word to come.
Okay.
I don't know, you can.
Wow. I guess just being able to be active and happy.
And so, how would you know that you were healthy, or how would we know by looking at you that you're healthy, or by looking at your lifestyle?
I would say lifestyle, active. You know, if you were to go look at our pantry in there, you know, we don't have chips and pop and soda and donuts and ding dongs and ho hos and you know, you open up the
That's
fridge.
great.
You know, my favorite thing last night, you brought up a whole bowl of grapes, and I'm like, oh my god, these are good. You know, so I think we eat very healthy. I have probably more guilty pleasures than he does. I'm a pasta girl, and you know, every once in a while. But very active. I probably judge my health more on how my clothes fit, not necessarily, you know, a specific size or a specific weight, but I know when I feel healthy.
Sure.
On the
Fighting
inside
weight.
and on the outside. I call it my fighting weight.
Okay.
So I would say active and just eating healthy. We're really healthy eaters. I mean,
That's
I'm
great.
not
almost
a-
to the point where it's scary.
I'm not a big eater. I don't really crave food. I could go without it. Give me a glass of water and, you know, I'm fine. I think the number one health issue in the United States. That's our kid. I think the number one health issue in the United States is obesity. I think it's sad. I mean, I see young kids older people, and I think a lot of it has to do with, just what people do for a living anymore, and the fast foods, and I will not go down that route. We work out 3 days a week for a good hour and a half at a
Awesome.
gym, for kettlebell swings and pulling sleds, and so,
Wow,
Interesting stuff as
Yeah,
opposed
good
to
for you guys.
get on a treadmill.
Right.
I was just kind of thinking, we were at a friend's house over the weekend, and I was helping him move his dock out of the lake, and he's a big guy. I wouldn't call him obese or nothing, but, just not in shape, and I was lifting it, and we were together, and he had to stop. He was panting so hard he couldn't catch his breath, and
Wow.
And he's younger than Dan is.
I couldn't even feel it, and it was just, I'm like, wow, man.
Can be kind of eye-opening.
Yeah, it is. It's eye-opening.
yeah.
So, like I said, activity, eating well.
Yeah,
Good.
no, I've tried to work out and stuff for many, many years, and I feel
It's
very,
been
very
around.
That's
bad
awesome.
if I don't.
So what kind of healthcare practices do you guys follow?
Well, we work out 3 days a week. We work out together. In fact, October is my 1-year anniversary of going to the gym with him.
Same one.
Same one. We eat like I said, very healthy. Lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, lots of lean meat. I actually didn't eat red meat or any kind of meat for about 5 years. And had to get back into that just because I was pretty low on protein and good nutrition. And so started in with chicken again and some fish and seafood and stuff. And now I eat steaks too, just not very often. But I would say we go through a lot of chicken. We probably don't have the best sleeping habits in the entire world. I'm a night owl.
Okay.
And if I would stay up all night long, kind of. And so I'm usually tired all the time, but it's my own fault. Other than that, like I said, we just really try to be active. I've had a Fitbit or some sort of a Apple Watch or something for 5-6 years now and try to get steps in. We always skip elevators and take stairwells, and
That's great.
it's just all the little things. I would say we don't really have a big major thing that we absolutely do. I don't really consider myself on a diet because I hate that word. But we
Just
both
more of a
watch what we
lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. We watch what we eat. Every once in a while, I do have to kick it in gear and help a little bit because menopause and all that crap happens. But guys don't have to deal with
I
that.
haven't had mine yet.
But
I when in sales that I do, and I've got to go out. I cannot go out and eat at restaurants with pastas and thick food and heavy foods. I get almost sick because we're so used to eating
we're just not used to
light.
it. We don't eat that rich food.
It's
So
diet, or not diet, but light sour cream and like tonight we didn't.
skim milk and fat-free sour cream and light cheese, and I just don't
So-
buy this stuff.
Right.
So when you go out to a restaurant, it's
not that.
It's always that, and I just order a Greek salad with a chicken breast, because it's not that I'm trying to, everybody comments on it, but it's just like I can't eat.
It's what you're used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what we're used to.
Yeah, I can't eat that because if I do, I'm miserable. I'm completely miserable all night the next day. So it's just them rich foods I can't handle, which is good probably.
Yeah, very good for your health. So we're gonna get into a little bit on race and social class. So do you find it easier to talk to us because we are of the same race?
For me, it wouldn't matter.
Oh no, no, absolutely not.
Okay. So then, social class, how many times have you guys moved in the past 5 years, or have you been here?
We've been here.
for 16 years now.
Oh, wow. And how many different jobs have you guys had? Or have you always been with the same one?
I've had two.
Two?
I had
Okay.
one for a couple of years, and then I've been with the same company now going on 30.
Wow.
Changed hands, changed names,
Yes,
but
it's-
same job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Some mergers and acquisitions, but same company.
Yeah. So I had a job right out of, well, I assume you don't mean all the little small part-time things all through college, but I
Right.
got out of law school and opened up my own law firm. So 1, then I joined a law firm because they asked me to. So 2, started with the bank as compliance officer, and then we moved. Otherwise, I probably would still be doing that.
Okay.
With the law firm when I got up here, and now I'm whatever it is that I'm doing. So I would say 5.
5. Okay. Does stress related to work affect either of you individually or as a family?
Yes. And tell your dad that.
I'll make sure to tell him.
It it probably affects me outwardly more, and I talk about it more than it does Dan. I think he kind of keeps it in a little bit, but you know, yeah, it affects me a lot.
And
Yeah.
how would you say that it affects you?
Mental health. Sunday nights I would get grumpy and owly and probably not be very much fun to be around. I mean, not, like I said, we're still not arguing and that kind of thing, but you can just tell I get a little quiet, withdrawn. If I get real stressed out, it actually comes out. I have kind of a nervous stomach, and so
Okay.
I'd actually kind of make myself sick if I got too stressed out about
Oh.
things. And it probably affects my sleep. I'm one of those people that if you told me I could go take a nap right now, I could go to sleep. I mean, I could be asleep in minutes. He hates it because I just fall asleep anytime, anywhere. When I'm stressed out, I can't sleep. I'm up all night long.
Okay.
So, and then it really affects me the next day.
Sure.
So, and I would say that's what I mean by when it affects us together, because then I'm tired and not sleeping and not coming up to bed, and it kind of affects him, and so in that way.
Have you found ways to cope with that stress?
Yeah, I switched jobs to start with. I try to plan and organize a little bit better. My old job at the law firm was billable hours, and so the more you work, the more you bill. The more you bill, then the better it is for the firm. And so it would mean bringing home work at night, bringing home work over the weekends, working on stuff all the time. And there was one day I remember Dan and I were sitting outside, and I had my laptop, and it was a gorgeous night out. And he said, "Are you ever going to quit working tonight?" And that's when it kind of dawned on me that I just kind of was working all the time. I would just bring stuff home all the time because, again, just bill more hours.
Right.
So I switched that. And I think I'm a lot happier and healthier
Good,
now,
good.
and I think that shows.
Yeah. Which ones?
Yeah. So.
That's great. So talking a little bit about religion and spirituality, what meaning do those two words have in your life, if they have a meaning at all?
Differences to me. Religion and spirituality are two different things to me. Religion is more of the formal or organized religion. I grew up Methodist. We got married probably 2 years later. I became Catholic. I didn't want to become, he's Catholic, and I didn't want to become Catholic just to get married. I didn't think that was the right reason to do it. But once we got married, then he was actually my sponsor, and we went through it together.
Oh.
And so that meant more to me than let's hurry up and get this done before I get married. I didn't
Sure.
want to do it that way. Spirituality to me is something different. I don't have to go to church to be spiritual. I don't have to, so again, it's that formalized religion versus
kind of what it means to you.
what it really means to me. Yeah. I
Do
said
you-
I could go any place, and I don't have to go to church in order to, I don't think, be spiritual.
Right. Are you guys affiliated with a church here in Mankato?
Yeah, St. John the Baptist.
Okay.
Our family's been very, very strong Catholic. My mom's, I think she goes to church every day.
Every day.
Believe it or not.
Wow.
I don't know why, but I guess that's where she's very happy. And she'll go an hour or so every day. I don't go, every day. Reason we decided to be the same religion is so that when we do go to church, we don't have to say which one we're going to.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I think especially my family, grew up very, very Catholic and altar boy and all that kind of stuff, and it was just that I went to her church a few times, and it was always pretty foreign to me, as far as how they do communion and stuff versus Catholic. So.
Okay. Do you guys are you involved in any community resources or programs?
Use or involved in? No, I volunteer a lot. Is that what
Okay.
you're referring to, or probably
We can
not?
talk about that. Yeah. Where do you volunteer at?
I am on the board and volunteer for the Greater Mankato Area United Way, and
Okay.
have for quite a few years now. In the past, I've been involved with a lot more things. I've kind of, again, as part of that quality of life, quit saying yes to things as part of the stress
Good
part.
for you, yeah.
And so I kind of focus on those. But I don't know that we use any actual programs or affiliations or anything like that. No.
No, I would say nothing.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest, how comfortable are you in your neighborhood here in Mankato?
10. I'm very, very love the town, love our
Awesome.
area.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, we're gonna Pause it quick.
Okay.